Bar Weep, Grana Weep, Ninibong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And isn't it odd when you finish one video, you put it up, you think you've covered all the news, and then some huge news drops. So I know I said I was going to do another review, but instead, I'm back doing another news article, news roundup. But this is all really from one article that I managed to find. I think I saw this on one of my Facebook groups that I'm part of, and this all came from Weibo. And this is a whole load of new Transformers, mostly from Earthrise, and we're getting some of our first looks at some really exciting figures that are coming out. If you're new around here, guys, please think about giving me a like, a share, and a subscribe. I cover news articles like this and also reviews of the Transformers when I get them. So, first up, let's have a look at this little chap. So, this is the probably the least exciting, I guess, out of all of these for me. Again, this is the Earthrise version of Megs. We can see Megatron here. We can see the box. So the box is now the classic looking kind of greenish space type version for Earthrise. It's really weird that it's called Earthrise. But all of this seems to go on in space. So yeah, it's quite odd, really, I guess, isn't it? It says Earth, but all this stuff seems to happen in space. You can see Megatron there, Earthrise on the front, and then you can kind of see the artwork on the side there. Looks like it's pretty nice, decent artwork. The figure itself, yeah, it looks like it's actually battle damaged, which is a bit bizarre because I didn't think that the Earthrise ones but we're getting the battle damage. But yeah, this is probably, of all the Earthrise releases that aren't minifigures, this is the one I'm kind of the least excited for, if I'm honest. It's not different enough from the version that we got with Siege for me. And if you look at his chinny chin, it is huge. You can go back and look at one of my previous news articles for how big his chinny chin is. But yeah, you know, we're getting another Megatron. Fantastic. Then we've got a very interesting little photo. We're here. I'm going to start off with the figure that I don't know much about, which is Thunderhowl. So you can see Thunderhowl here from Cyberverse. I'm not a Cyberverse watcher. I've not really watched. I think I've watched the first episode of season 1, and that's pretty much as far as I've got with it. But I don't know too much about this one. But so there's a Thunderhowl there that, you know, looking at the comparisons between this and the Cyberverse version, looks pretty good. It's in some plastic wrapping, so you can't see too much of it. But yeah, looks pretty good. But what is interesting in this picture is Soundwave. Now I think this is potentially the Earthrise version of Soundwave, because even though it's next to a Cyberverse character, the Cyberverse character version of Soundwave is very different. So is this an Earthrise version of Soundwave? He's very clean looking, very 80s cartoon looking. What do you think that the alt mode for this one will be if we do get the Soundwave in the Earthrise lineup? It'll be interesting to see what he transforms into. Obviously the Siege one was that horrific jet type thing, and then you could also remove the arms and still turn him into something that resembled a cassette deck, and then you could also kind of turn him into his telegraph pole version as well. So he was a bit of a triple changer, which was quad changer, I guess, because he's got his normal mode as well. So he was pretty cool. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we get. He looks pretty cool. There's no battle damage on this one like the original from Siege. So yeah, I'm quite interested to see whether or not this is a prototype and whether or not we'll get this in wave 2 or if we'll get this in wave 3. But pretty interesting. Then on to, I spoke about these guys on the Skylinks video, and then ba-da, as if by magic, we suddenly see one of the cone heads. So we have Thrust here. I hope a badly transformed thrust, because I think those legs should be chucked in. If those legs aren't pushed in, then it's a very odd looking thrust. But for me, this is pretty cool. Looks like it's got a lot of detail in. It looks like a classic thrust. I wonder if we'll have a little bit more paint on it, but it's got a nice small little Decepticon logos on it. And yeah, this is a nice looking, classic looking thrust. Nice blacks, reds. I really like that kind of the kind of molded detail that the thrust always has on the wings. I really like that. It's very different to the other Seekers. So this is obviously the top bit. We go underneath, and it looks similar cone to the one that we get with Starscream, where we've got that molded landing gear, and then you got the nice purple knees, or is that just a bit of a shine? So maybe he's got some purple knees. I think he usually does. Yeah, nice. Looks, the chest plate looks very similar to Starscream, so I think the transformation is going to be quite similar to the other Seekers. But yeah, really nice looking Seeker, and I quite like that. So I'm really looking forward to the cone heads coming. Obviously we didn't see them at all in Siege, so it'll be interesting to see them come. Then on to this purple bad guy here, Cyclonus. So we're getting a Cyclonus. Again, I think this is for wave 3 of this could be for Earthrise, or maybe it's for the third part. Maybe we'll get him with the Galvatron. Can't wait to see Galvatron. That's what I'm really waiting for. Yeah, nice. The purple's very light purple, kind of like a lavender color. I was kind of thinking he might be a bit darker when he came through. Obviously this is just a mock-up version, I guess. I think he'll get more paint on him. Obviously he hasn't got his Decepticon logo here. Looks like he's getting his classic blaster instead of any samurai swords, which we see with him sometimes. But yeah, I mean, Cyclonus looking really good. The alt mode on him, though, it looks good, but it looks a bit short and stubby. I like my Cyclonuses a little bit longer than this. I think. I think that this reminds me a lot of the Mech Fan Toys version, where the robot mode looks okay, but then when he's transformed, it's a little bit stubby for ship. And yeah, it looks a little bit stubby. I'd have liked to have seen it a little bit longer than this, but I guess it's down to the fact that he will be I don't know what this is. Maybe this is Chilluck's class rather than Voyager. I'm not sure what size this is. Hopefully he's Voyager class minimum. But yeah, nice looking. Obviously it's the classic G1 look, even if it is a little bit stubbier. It's got the lovely red painted windows. I just hope we get a little bit more painted detail. The molded detailing looks fantastic. Color, yeah. So the color that's on the back there on the thrusters, that's kind of the color that I was expecting the whole piece to be. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's got the nice grey there on the grey whitey type washed out color on the nose cone as well, right at the end. So yeah, interesting. Then we have this picture. So this is the fully blown out picture of the Thunderhowl and Soundwave. And what is that in the background? Ooh, hype. Wow, so what is that? That is a Top Gun crossover with Transformers, and this guy is called Maverick. So this is really quite the exciting thing here. So Top Gun cross Transformers, Top Gun. Ooh, Maverick. So this is something obviously to coincide with potentially the new Top Gun movie that's coming out. This is a Hasbro one there. Doesn't look like it's got Takara on it, so this must be Hasbro making this. The robot mode there looks interesting. I think this is something that I'm definitely going to pick up. This is very, very exciting. Part of me thinks that this was potentially supposed to be the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this year, but obviously we know San Diego Comic-Con is already cancelled this year, so potentially this is what will be just released, because I've seen a few people releasing their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and they still call it San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, but they're just releasing them on normal order straight away, because that's not actually happening. So maybe this was supposed to be there and unveiled at San Diego Comic-Con, but I'm hyped for this. I'll definitely be picking this up. You know, I love my crossovers. The Ghostbusters one is part of the pride of my collection, everything to do with that, so really cool. The bot mode, you can see a little picture of the bot mode there. Looks all right. We'll see. We will see with this one. So what are your thoughts, guys? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. First of all, on the Top Gun one, definitely, are you excited for this? I can't wait to see the bot mode. Obviously that's just a small picture of it. What your feelings on Thrust, Cyclonus? What are your thoughts on what Soundwave will actually transform into? Possible alt mode from me. If I had to say right now, what would I like to see Soundwave transform into? I think I would like to see him transform into either a satellite, because I quite like that idea, because he's a communications kind of expert, or some kind of communications van, like a communications like spy communications van, with antennas coming out of it and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. I know it's a challenge. You know, the 80s tape deck is still pretty cool, but obviously it's a challenge to make that work for today's audience, because it doesn't quite fit in. So what do you think we could have him as a modern day one? Okay guys, so I'll see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing around here, please give me a like, a share and a subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, which I promise, unless something big drops, will be a review of Power Baser. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Peace.